Hey, I'm Mark Johanna from PhoneDog.com, and this is the iPhone 5S, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. These are two devices that offer completely different experiences, yet two devices that are competing in the same market range. Both of these devices are in the higher-end smartphone range, and when you match the iPhone 5S with 32GB of built-in storage, it's about the same price as the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 on contract through multiple carriers. For the iPhone 5S, Apple started by replacing the old A6 dual-core chip with a new 64-bit A7 dual-core processor and 1GB of RAM. They've also added a new chip called the M7 to deal with motion monitoring to help conserve the battery. Pretty smart on Apple's part to improve iPhone's battery life while conserving its still 7.6mm thickness and excellent build quality. Apple has also added something called TouchID. It's a fingerprint reader that's placed inside the home button. It offers a fingerprint password to unlock your phone and a fingerprint password to buy applications and music, and I like it quite a lot. The Samsung, on the other hand, focuses mainly on performance and experience. If you can remember, the Galaxy Note 2 had a 5.5-inch display. The Galaxy Note 3, however, houses a 5.7-inch full 1080p display, and I absolutely love it. It runs a 2.3 GHz quad-core processor and houses an amazing 3GB of RAM, 3 times as much from the iPhone and twice as many cores, and if you get your hands on an HSPA Plus model, you can experience Samsung's 1.9 GHz Exynos octa-core processor. The displays themselves are also very different. Other than size, the iPhone's still holding on to its Retina display with 1136 pixels by 640. A pretty tiny resolution when compared to the Note's 1920 by 1080 resolution on its 5.7-inch Super AMOLED display. Both of these displays look great, but the IPS panel on the iPhone does give off a better balanced color and is still pretty viewable in direct sunlight. The same can't be said about the Note 3. If you do want the best looking display regardless of color accuracy or saturation, then the AMOLED will offer you the brightest colors around. Now, the iPhone 5S can fit entirely into the screen of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and yet the Galaxy Note 3 doesn't feel like a huge device, but it is. If you're coming from a phone like the iPhone, you'll notice the screen size, but Samsung has really done a good job by cutting down the bezels and making the phone feel compact in the hand. I've had a history to look down on Samsung's build quality, and I'm afraid to say the Note 3 experiences the same issue. The Note 3 is built primarily out of plastic. Even this chrome sides are made out of plastic. They have improved the fit and finish on the back cover, making it out of this faux leather. It eliminates the slipperiness and the fingerprints from the back cover. Though this build quality can be viewed in two ways, either hated because it's cheap or appreciated because it keeps the phone lightweight and pretty durable. If the iPhone had a 5.7-inch display, it would weigh way more than the Note 3 does, so I'll leave it as that. Next up is software. The iPhone 5S runs iOS and the Note 3 runs Android. iOS is now in its 7th generation, and iOS 7 is one of the largest departures from iPhone's original software. The feel is still iPhone, but now in a more colorful yet flat way. The Apple applications now have a very flat appearance that make the iPhone feel fresh and new. While I can't say some of these features like Control Center and multitasking were Apple's own ideas, they do them in such a good way that you're really not caring. iOS's main attraction is the simplicity, and with simplicity you have to cut down on other customer customizations. The Note 3 runs Android 4.3, a pretty new but not the newest version of Android. On top of Android comes Samsung's familiar TouchWiz. You'll either hate it or love it. If you're into those little bloops and bleeps, then you'll love it. If not, you'll either hate it or turn off the sound effects. The Galaxy Note 3 wears its Note badge proud by featuring an updated version of TouchWiz that's compatible with Samsung's S Pen. Pulling out the pen will automatically take you to a page full of note options like taking notes. It's basically the same TouchWiz. We have seen some updates to accompany Samsung's new S Pen, features like Air Command, which will open a list of commands on the fly. The most impressive of those is called Action Memo. It allows you to jot down contact notes and let you turn those into actions. You can also take advantage of the Note's large display with multi-window. For the most part, I really did enjoy the S Pen, but I didn't feel like it's a giant advantage over a smaller sized phone. I'm probably more productive using my 2 fingers to type out notes and emails than I am using one hand with the S Pen. Now moving on to the cameras. They're both really good. The Note 3 has a 13 megapixel camera while the iPhone 5S has an 8 megapixel camera. More megapixels do not make that difference. Yet the iPhone camera seems to be better in just about any Android device, including the Note 3. The images on the Note 3 just seem to lack the vibrant colors and details that we get on the iPhone 5S. And with features like continuous shutter and slow motion video, the iPhone 5S just seems more appealing for anyone who wants a good camera. To pit these two devices against each other may sound funny. They are two very different devices, but price does matter when it comes to mobile devices, and these two are pretty darn close. The Note 3 offers the performance and the iPhone 5S offers the simplicity. If you let your numbers do the talking, then the Note 3 will walk all over the iPhone 5S, and that is the clear winner in this comparison. Yet so many people still buy the iPhone knowing they can get a more powerful phone for the same amount of money, but they don't. It's because the iPhone experience is still very much unmatched. It's simple and elegant, while the Note 3 has power craver's dream wrapped up in a slim device. It's a matter of choice if you are stuck between these two. Do you value experience over customization and power, or is it the other way around?